Welcome back, watch fans at Swiss Watch Expo. Today we are going to go over how to, and today it will be how to set your date just. Stay tuned. So, watch fans, we're going to go over one of the most classic and iconic pieces that you could ever have in your collection, the Rolex Datejust. With over 8 different variations, this piece has been made since 1945. It's a piece that I feel you do have to have at least one in your collection, no matter if you want to go with the vintage. For me, I did my personal birth year on mine. Or if you decide that you want to do something that's more modern, that's actually what I did for my big birthday as well. I fell so in love with them that I do have more than one. I actually feel that it is just that piece that fits into everything. You can dress it up, dress it down. It's going to fit right into your lifestyle. So today, we're not only going to talk about it, we're actually going to go over how to set this watch properly. With the Datejust, you can actually get it in different variations. So you can find this watch in an all stainless steel, which would also mean that it would have a smooth bezel. So if you see one of the Rolexes and the bezel is actually going to be completely smooth, typically that is a stainless steel bezel if the whole watch is white. If that watch is going to be white and then it actually has the notching or what we call fluting, then that means you have a stainless steel with a 18 karat white gold fluted bezel. In this case, for the piece we have today, this one is going to be 18 karat yellow gold and stainless steel. It also comes in an 18 karat Ever-Rose in stainless steel, or for some of the vintage models, it would be red gold in stainless steel. Either way it goes, you can actually find that perfect one that fits right into your lifestyle personally. So this particular piece is actually going to be a Datejust 41. Remember, we just talked about the different variations. This being a Datejust 41 is going to be with an 18 karat yellow gold fluted bezel. This is an oyster bracelet with 18 karat gold and stainless steel. This watch does come in a variety of sizes. For the modern pieces, which this wasn't actually available until recently, men's can come in a 41. It also comes in a 36, which a lot of women are wearing now as well because women feel that it is a more strong, more powerful look, and it's also going to be easier to read. We nickname it the boyfriend's watch because it looks like maybe you have on your husband or your boyfriend or your dad's watch. But it is definitely one of the things that stands out for women. I love the way it looks on a woman. How else can you celebrate the strength and amazingness that women have given us because time would stand still without you? Then you'll still have your classic sizes with the ladies 31, the ladies 28, which was recently introduced around the same time as the men's 41, and then the ladies 26, and you'll have that vintage 24. So this watch does come in a few different sizes. You can actually choose or pick out or try on which one is best for you. When you give us a call here at Swiss Watch Expo, we can FaceTime or WhatsApp and actually allow you to see the different variations so you can pick the best one for you. So now that we know a little bit about the different options that we have, how long it's been around, and also the fact that we can actually choose something in a vintage or something modern, let's actually dive into how to set your Datejust. With the Datejust, the first thing that I want you to remember is that there are going to be stages to how we set the watch itself. We always want to make sure that this crown is screwed down. As long as that crown is screwed down, no dust, dirt, or water can get inside of the watch. We say think of it like the hatch on a submarine. As long as that latch is closed, you know that your watch is going to be resistant from those things. Now, do keep in mind over time, you want to make sure that you do have your watch serviced. With Rolex, for the vintage pieces, we do suggest every 3 to 5 years. And for the more modern pieces, we'll say every 5 to 7 years. When this crown is screwed down, we call this position 0. So the first thing we're going to do is break all the rules, and we're going to unscrew your crown. When we unscrew that crown, it's going to pop out on your finger, okay? Once it's popped out, that is going to be position 1. That's your winding position. This is where the watch will actually transfer the energy from your hand, and it will store it inside of your watch, okay? So we're going to give the watch a good 40 to 60 turns. Yes, 40 to 60 turns. In your manual, it does say 20 full turns. However, we're humans, our hands do not turn in a full turn. So you're really only giving yourself half. So I want you to focus more on giving it about 40 to 60 turns. That's going to raise the heartbeat and elevation in the watch. That part is called the hairspring. With that hairspring, that is actually what continues to expand, and that's actually giving the watch the pulsation that it needs to run. Remember, there's no electrical components in this watch. Everything is fully mechanical, so it needs you to work. Now, one of the key things that I want to make sure that everybody remembers, this is something that I cannot emphasize enough. With this watch, please make sure that when you're setting the date, that you do not set the date when the hands are at the top portion of the watch. Classically, we would say between 10 and 2. More commonly, we start to say just the top half of the watch. When you get ready to change your date, please remember, move the hands to the bottom half of the watch. This will allow for the date wheel to clear. And because it's clear, you don't have to worry about it getting stuck. If that date wheel gets stuck or it gets broken, keep in mind, you're now talking about at least $700 to $1,000 repair, because that wheel will have to be replaced as well as the watch will need to be serviced. So again, keep in mind, the way that I'm showing you, we're going to look at doing the date and actually going around a full day so we know if it's AM or PM versus trying to force the date wheel where we want it to be. So the next thing we'll do is in our calendar, we'll actually go to the day before. Why the day before? I'll explain to you in just a moment. So let's set our calendar to the day before, whatever the current date is. The reason we want to do this is once we pull that crown out from position 2 to position 3, this is going to allow us to control the hands of the watch. Yes, you can go forwards and backwards. For beginners, I always say that it is best to go this way because when we get to 12, you can look and listen. There was no date change. That tells me now I'm in PM. So if I'm paying close attention to it, whenever I am in AM, the date will change, and that means it's midnight. If I'm in PM, there will be no date change, no click sound, and that means that we're actually in the afternoon. This is important simply because it's going to tell us whether or not we're in AM or PM so that we don't think that our watch is a day ahead or a day behind. So always pay close attention to that part. Again, we want to make sure when we get to the 12, we do look and listen. And remember, on all modern Rolexes, everything on your Rolex makes a sound, except for when you screw down the crown, because you're going into your silent mode with everything being closed. So we're going to look for that 12. And I'm going to give you a good example of it. Once we get to 12, take a peek. You'll hear a little click and you'll see that the date changes. Now I know that that is midnight, okay? So then I would continue to set our current time for that current date. Let's say right now is going to be right at 10:20. Then we would actually set our watch here. Once we're finished, use your pointer finger and your thumbs. And by the way, one of the easiest things to do or easiest ways to handle it, use your tip of your fingers or your fingernails, especially for guys, just because we do have larger fingers. They're typically a little bit thicker as well. It's going to be a little bit harder to control that crown. This is going to help you tip-wise. But we're going to push the crown and turn at the same time and screw down until it stops. Once it stops, you stop. Remember, we're just going back to position 0, which means no dirt, dust, or water can get inside of the watch. Do remember, your Rolex is a synthetic sapphire crystal in the front, so therefore it is virtually going to be, as I like to say, allergic to concrete and ceramic tile. So be careful when throwing it on the counter in your bathrooms or your kitchens. If it drops from more than 3 feet, that crystal may break. So those are two of the things that you do want to remember as well. No showers, no hot tubs, no saunas, no steam rooms. Those are not water, they are vapors. And because of it, that moisture can actually get in through more than just the seals. So when you are taking a shower, make sure that you keep your Rolex outside of the room. These are just helpful tips that will cause or make it where you have less servicing And because we have less servicing, it means more time on our wrist, more time to wear. Tell us what you think in the comments below. If this has helped you, definitely give us a thumbs up. We thank you and continue to tune in to Swiss Watch Expo.